Yesterday's conspiracy theories, tomorrow's headlines. Most are still asleep and I ain't talking about no bedtime. The truth is not a Google search, you need to get your head right. The Greek goddess of illusion was called Media, and I'm not a coincidence theorist, I look for thread lines. Smashing every deadline, no longer smashing red wine. Though I can hear the bells chime, it feels like the end times. That probably should have been smashed on red wine, but the carnal mind is foolish. Obey and end up ghoulish. Don't get used by instinct, take control and learn to use it. Make a load of earnest music, earn a few quid, learn a few tricks. Sure, the truth is persecuted, this whole world is pure abusive. Know a bit about everything and everything about nothing. Figured out my noggin while you picture out shopping. You sit about watching while I dish it out, stop it. I don't mean to sound cocky, I'm not even proud of it. It's a second nature to me, just for me to sound honest. I don't even need to sound honest, never been about profit. Everything but out on it, you can bet your house on it. Doubt I'll be out for the count when the sounds, and I'm down for the beat, no beat down. I mean, how long's it been? Help me out. I've been the only one who's held me down. All in the mind, hell freeze now. Still sick with it, healthy how? Few bars down and the world freaked out. I don't reach out, I seek out to speak out. I'ma recount the reasons they beat out.
Hello. Welcome, everybody, to the 509 Divine Pines Podcast. I am your host with the most. I want you guys to raise a toast. Yeah, we are doing it live, man. It is November 5th, 2025. And if you guys didn't hear, V for Vendetta is in here, so you guys know what time it is. Yeah, November. Yeah, man, it is pretty wild out here in America. V for Vendetta is seemingly like a foretelling of how we live. And if you guys really want to know how we live, please like, subscribe, and share. And we're going to get it to you. We're going to get the truth. We're going to get the best. It is the owner of Activist Post, Charlie Robinson. Charlie Robinson just got Activist Post within the last, 24 months, 12 months. He is #1 best-selling author of The Controlled Demolition of the American Empire with Jeff Berwick, as well as The Octopus of Global Control. His new book, Hypocrazy: Surviving in a World of Cultural Double Standards, is now at Amazon and his website. He hosts the Macroaggressions Podcast, as well as the co-host of the Roundtable Podcast, the Union of the Unwanted and Day Zero. His links are below. And if you guys could, please do us a favor. And we were just talking about it before. Please welcome my new sponsor, Chemical Free Body. Tim James, the Oregon health hero, will get you right. I have not freaking slept in 3 days. No, I'm kidding. I have slept, but his stuff is so impactful, man. I sweated all my toxins out. I have shit my brains out. I have literally rejuvenated my skin where I'm like, I could actually feel my follicles in my hair individually now. It's like it broke out of a web of dysfunction in my body. Tim James is the best. You can find out all of his products. So it'll detoxify you, it'll strengthen you, and fortify you for everything that we've been going through over the last 5 years, and what we are going to go through over the next 15, 25 years, I think. Please go check out their website, Chemical Free Body, and use coupon code 509 Divine Pines. Thank you guys for being here. If you could, Charlie Robinson, tell them, man. Tell them what's up. Tell them about yourself for all my new viewers out there.
Let me say that I have to agree with you on the Chemical Free Body. They've been a sponsor of my podcast for 5 years. Tim James is a good friend. I've been taking their products every day for 5 years. I've done the Detox Bundle twice, which is a 90-day program. Dude, it leaned me out so much that I had to buy new shorts. And I have normally, like, I don't have weight to lose. And I lost almost 10% of my body weight, which is sick. I mean, totally crazy. I didn't even know that it was happening until I was at the vet waiting for them to examine my cat. And I'm sitting in the lobby in the waiting room, and they have one of those scales, and I jump up on the scale. Like, I'm sitting there with my wife. I just jump up on the dog scale to weigh myself, and I go, oh my God, I'm so light. And I was like, that's got to be a mistake. And so I went home and weighed myself, and I had lost 14 pounds. And it was from that detox bundle. So like I can sell Chemical Free Body all day long because I've taken it and I know firsthand that it's like one of the few supplement companies out there that's actually making stuff that works. So there you go.
Honestly, I'm hooking up my family with it, and they're actually pretty excited because they're reading the bottle, and it's simple to read. Simple, parasite free, daily vitamins, toxin free, gut free. You know, just it's what you want, and it's simple, and they're easy to use. Their capsules, the Green 85 is new apple flavor. It's in powder. It's amazing stuff.
Got it.
It is amazing, man. Hey, so you just got Activist Post win by the
So here's what happened. Summer of 2024, I got a message from one of the owners of Activist Post, who I know, who said, "Hey man, we're thinking of doing something else. We've been running this for 15 years. We're thinking of doing something else, but we want it to remain, we want it to be in good hands. Would you be interested in buying it?" And I said no, because I was like, man, I don't know, like that. Do I really need that headache? But I had a super crazy psychedelic experience earlier in the year. And in the aftermath of that, had this just underlying feeling of having a bigger voice. And I thought it was something else. I thought it was about this documentary project I'm working on. But then it just kind of hits me. Like, this guy asked me, "Do you want to buy Activist Post?" I was like, I'm flattered, but I'm not interested. Thank you. We talked a little bit, but I can't do that. And then it just kind of hit me 2 days later in the shower. Like, hey, dummy, that's what the universe was telling you during your crazy ass Bufo trip, was this bigger voice is Activist Post. The owner just reached out to you personally and said, "Hey, I would like for you to buy this." Like, if this isn't the universe knocking at your door, like, I don't know how to deliver it anymore. Like, I don't know how to, like, at some point, the universe can provide, but I have to act on it, right? And I have to be good about recognizing the signs when they're there. So when you have a powerful psychedelic experience on the beach in Acapulco, and then you have this occurrence, it's too synchronistic. You know what I mean? It's too important. It's too magical to like say no. And so I just kind of reconfigured my life around like, all right, I'd have to build this whole new website out. I bought naturalblaze.com as well, which is an alternative health site. So, and we rebuilt the whole website in November and December, and we launched it in January, and it's a banger, man. I mean, it's a great Activist. See, I can freely sell Activist Post because I've been a reader for 10 years. I've been the owner for 1 year, but I've been a reader for 10 years. And what was really cool about this was that one of the episodes of Macroaggressions I recorded in 2021 was, there was a section in there that I did where I was listing off like places I go for news, places that I think are great news sources. And number one on my list was Activist Post. So when I bought it, I was able to say, I love Activist Post to the existing audience. I love Activist Post. I am a reader, and I can prove it because I recorded a podcast years ago, listing it as my number one source. So I think it's a great place. It's republishing articles from outstanding journalists who are writing about important topics at a time. This is important at a time when it matters. You know what I mean? Not as Sam Tripoli says, when it's dangerous, dangerous, not safe, dangerous. You know what I mean? You can't, like, it doesn't, I'm glad Tucker's talking about vaccines in 2025, but where were you in 2021 when we were doing it, right? So activist post will be there when it's dangerous. And that is in carrying on the tradition of the previous owners who were in that 2016 hit list of the disinformation websites, along with Zero Hedge and WikiLeaks and activist post. And so the list where their monetization was yanked, their rankings were deboosted, and they were put on blacklists. So most investors would see that as a red flag. I see that as a badge of honor, that it's on that list. Fuck yeah. Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Honestly, yeah, man, if you're not standing up for the fight, you're just going to get trampled over. And no matter what way you look at it, these elites sell each other out. So, like, why not stand up and fucking knock some people out like Mike Tyson and Lude? Like, who else but you, Charlie Robinson, pulls no fucking punches? Dude, if you, like, I've been listening to your podcast for a while, and I swear, I don't know how many times I've had to rewind because word after word is fucking fact. And I'm like, okay, I have to write this down. Okay, I have to write this down. I'm like, fucking A, dude. Beyond Google, dude, this is like a modern AI, dude. Your brain is IQ level on fucking 150.
I bring notes, though, to be clear. Yeah, it's not all. Can I say something though? This is something I have noticed since you mentioned, like, it kind of coming off the top of my head. There's two reasons why that happens. One, well, there's three. One, I have physical notes in front of me for these monologues. It's not scripts, but just notes, just numbers and things like that. I want to make sure I get it right. But second, the way I have these notes are handwritten. They're all handwritten, and I keep all of them.
That's why I do it.
And when you handwrite it,
it sticks in your brain, and it sticks to your neurons and glia. And the modern day studies have been showing that everybody who's using these AIs, Grok, Chat GPTs, they're not actually remembering anything tangible. There's no mind to brain connection as when you write in your calligraphy. People can't even write cursive anymore. It's sad.
It's like secret code. You want to write something in your kids.
Hey, I'm laughing at
kids to read it. You just write it in cursive. Like,
I'm laughing at Lost Prophet over here on the side. He's over here. 509, put your glasses on. I came for the magnifying glasses. Literally, dude, I got horrible ass eyes, and it's just funny. Hey, so speaking about, like, you mentioned it earlier, like, you had this intuition. We should not fail this, guys. Many of times in my life, I have trusted that intuition, and it's turned out great for me. When I was younger, leaving parties before shit got worse. Yeah. When I'm older, right before COVID happened, I was having this crazy psychedelic experience. I barely started microdosing, and so I started feeling like I was alive again. My dreams started feeling in touch again. My spirit started feeling in touch again. And one day I was just in the shower in like super early, and I felt the spirit of the Lord. I was praying a lot too. I was reading the Bible and getting back into just my proper faith with the light. And the voice was like, watch out. China's going to poison your waters. And, I was listening to Alex Jones a little bit. And at that time, there was no word of the coronavirus or any of that. And that was like August 2019. So before any of this. And the voice told me, I was like, that's interesting. But it was like 2012, 2013-ish. Me and groups of buddies were in the early stages of Reddit before that shit was censored and controlled heavily. And so we were in the conspiracies group where we were seeing the plans and lines are like, oh, hypothetically around 2020, 2025, the World Economic Forum wants to stage war and blah, 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 blah. And, just running through the game plans, like just hypotheticals and how conspiracy like the channels were kind of a little unfiltered and unhinged. They were like, they were showing the truth and kind of speculating more on the truth and not filled with bullshit like it is. So I kind of like, when I heard that voice, it kind of made me click back. I was like, huh. And then I started like just getting more in touch with these podcasts like Alternative Health News, where you got this craze. What's the website? I didn't even know about it. What's the website? Craze?
Natural Blaze.
Natural Blaze. I'm gonna write that down.
Natural Blaze was started a year after Activist Post, so it's 14 years old now, 15 years old.
That's awesome.
So yeah, and so that's yeah, it's one of these things that we
I started listening to all of these extra things to better my health, and took off from there. 6 years ago, guys. I mean, you wouldn't even recognize me, bro. I was 145 pounds, like a twig, and now I weigh 195 pounds. I'm healthy. My body is like actually
Nice.
a human, not what the fuck is going on in society now, drugged up and just spirited out. The back then,
Yeah.
right? Like, but people lose it. Like, that's how I felt before all of this. Man, I appreciate that you're actually taking a stand for two things: activist post and natural blaze. Because I mean, I know that they come with each other, right? It's like a 2-for-1 deal, and I think that
Totally. I bought it with Bitcoin too, by the way.
If I could, I'm gonna go ahead and like all my affiliates and people that I've mentioned, I'm gonna run them by you, and then like, dude, like it would be cool to maybe get some collabs, like drop some little news pieces and things like that on everything that we can, because like how we were mentioning with Nick Freysoon with the Sprouts, it seems like, as guys, if we just talk and if we have good conversations like this, unlike the other sides who are battling left and right, and they don't want to talk to each other, they don't really want to communicate, they don't want to spread their love and awareness, guys, these are the places. Between me, 509 Divine Pines, if you go over to Charlie Robinson's activist post, if you go over his Natural Blaze, just reach out and become friends with this. If you have companies, reach out. Hey, we're more than happy to promote your stuff. I promote companies all the time.
I'm a collaborator, man. I'm not a competitor to people. I'm a collaborator.
Right.
I work, we work with a lot of people in our little world. Like, I'm not going to be taking Monsanto money, or McDonald's money.
Heck no.
It's just not going to be a fit. It would be incompatible. So like, we find companies, I know I've been able to meet quite a few people that have companies that just are ethically aligned. They fulfill like a product or service that's needed. You feel good about recommending it, and done properly. That's how it should work. It should be like a little extra economy where, I've got a gold and silver guy and Bitcoin guy, who I trust. I can send people there and know he's not going to run off with their money and make me look like an idiot. So things like that. From going to Mexico the last few years with Acapulco and being involved in that, I also got to meet the people that are connected to that event, and it's just been,
what's that event called?
There's a great group of people making products that are censorship proof, privacy focused, ethically aligned, all this stuff. Like, it can be done the right way. Like, you can find stuff that like even your cell phone, like I've got Above Phone as one of my sponsors, like just like great team over there. They hate big tech. They're so much better. They've got a solution, so it's like, I don't know about you, but like I cover heavy material, like I cover heavy stuff. If I'm not like on my podcast or in activist post and things like that, like these are like big time events that we're talking about. If you aren't offering people solutions, then what are you doing? Like, that's why it's great you have Chemical Free Body, because it's like, it's a solution to people who are feeling sick. And when you feel sick, man, you'd give anything to feel better. And so like preventative measures like that, like you can recommend that all day long and feel good about yourself and not feel like you're selling out to what the awesome supplement company run by Tim James, who's a fantastic human being.
And all sorts of companies down below. I mean, I even got a partnership with C60 with Ken Swartz.
Oh,
And
did you really?
yeah, oh, definitely. So it's down below right here. If you see on the discount code, so Eagle Research with George Wiseman. So shop C60 with Ken Swartz. WGG, which is a natural gamer fuel. So it's made with natural fruits and monk fruit and some different things. And so they have gamer collabs all the time. They're amazing. Okazi clothing, which is Demon Slayer inspired, anime inspired workout gear, which is just awesome because like anime pumps you up and it gets you in that right spirit. Divine Light Coach Sherry Ariano, she works with crystals, gemstones, spirit healing, and angel guides, and more of the light side of things. None of that darkness, guys. None of that darkness. Boomer Boost down there. Man, they have amazing companies. They are awesome. They are just the best over in Florida. They have that heirloom barley. So barley grows with about 3 to 4 pods right now, industrially and commercially. If you find them in farms, within the actual flower and pod, it's only about 4 to 5 seeds. Their seed specifically comes from the ancient bogs of France, where the gladiators and all them fighters were. So they pulled out the seeds, the barley seeds, from the bases that were feeding the gladiators. And these seeds, these barleys from about 2,000 years ago, these things grow with about 12 seeds. So times 4. So 4 times the potency, 4 times the vitamins, 4 times the structure, 4 times the power. And not only that, they ionically supercharge their heirloom barley so that you get a fully electrified, powerful. And I mean it, like, it'll increase your strength, your bone density. It'll freaking put your body on 10. Like, totally kick your ass in a way. So like all these companies, like, guys, I did this out of love of my heart, and they did it out of love of their heart to work with me. They don't send me money, they just show me love with gear, show me love with some gifts, and I show them love with support, and just like Charlie Robinson down there. But hey, so before we get into all this madness that we want to get,
I gotta tell, before we get off of this, I gotta tell you my C60 Power story, because you mentioned them as one of your sponsors. And Ken, the scientist, have you had him on?
Yeah. I'm gonna have him on again.
Ken's a cool dude. He lives not too far from me. We go out to lunch all the time. I've been
Dude,
and we've been to Mexico at an Acapulco the last 3 years in a row.
Hey, the next one I'm down to totally go. I'm up here in the Magic Mountain of Washington State, but like this is the right time in my life. I got a brand new car that saved me so much gas that I can save up money finally.
Yeah. An Acapulco this year is going to be in Puerto Vallarta instead of Acapulco, so that makes it easier to get to, and cheaper and more accessible and all those things. But so the C60, I got to tell you the C60 story, because they've been a sponsor of mine for years as well, and they'll give me products, and I've been taking it every morning for years, and I give it to my cats. My cats love it too. Like, they wake me up in the morning and I have to pour it out for this one cat. It's turned into a big problem, actually. But so I keep taking all this stuff, and then I did a metabolic functions assessment test with my buddy Christian Jordanov, who's my certified health practitioner in Portugal, and he sends me these tests. It's like piss in a cup, freeze it, send it in the overnight back to the lab. The lab gets the results. Then they send it to Christian. Christian goes, let's do a live podcast. Let's jump on his podcast and go over the results. And so we do, and we're going through it. We're like an hour into the results, and we get to this one part. It says DNA damage. And the way they do it is there's like a bar, like a line chart, and it's like red, yellow, green. Like, so you want to be in the green. Okay. My number was so far in the green that it was off the chart. There wasn't even like a score associated with it. It had come back kind of inconclusive. And Christian goes,
are you an alien, bro?
He goes, hey, when we got to that number, he goes, hey, this is a weird one. Your number came back off the charts. I go, it's probably the C60 I take, kind of like that. And he goes, oh shit. he goes, oh shit. Yeah, actually, as a matter of fact, that probably is what it is. He's like, cause I was like he goes, I was going to email the test company. If I ever get results that are kind of wonky like this, I'll email them and say like, was there anything wrong with the calibration of the machine? Is everything fine? You know, and they'll sometimes tell me, you know, no, there was a problem with this machine. That's the reason why you're getting an inconclusive score. He goes, I was going to email them after this podcast to ask kind of what about this inconclusive score. So it's funny that you said it's the C60. I bet that's what it is. And so the moral of the story is that I've been taking it for like 4 years every day. And it is the most powerful antioxidant known to mankind. It is hundreds of times more powerful than anything else out there. And the guys who discovered the carbon 60 molecule won the Nobel Prize in science for it in the late 80s. Like, it's a huge discovery. And so when I saw it, that was the first time I had ever been able to quantify it. Because it's expensive. It's not cheap. You know what I mean? It's like but if for the benefit of the audience, just so you know,
it's worth every penny.
It 100% works. And I was able to show it, like quantify it and measure it. And so I sent that video to the head of marketing for C60. I'm like, go to this part here and watch for 2.5 minutes, this interaction. It'll blow your mind. He was just like, amazing. So,
it's the best supplement known to man in my mind, in my opinion. FDA, fight me, bitch. I don't give a fuck. So literally, like, I'll be honest. Like, when I give it to my animals, they cannot stop like moving around. They're so happy and jubilant. And when I started taking this, I had taken a test at the doctor's office, and they had did like a little blood or like blood sample to like check, and then they were able to tell your biological age, your DNA age, your structure age, versus like what you're supposed to be. And I was fucking like 5 years, 6 years younger. And I was like, that's right. So my biological age was super, super fucking young. I was like 30. I was like, I'm 30. I was 30 when I took it. And then my biological age said 24. And I was like, yeah, that's what's up. Use coupon code 509 Divine Pines.
Berwick did that. He did one of those biological tests. I think he said his came up like 20 years younger.
Ooh, yeah.
I tried the Tesla.
I started taking it too.
I tried his Tesla machine.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's
what's
this. Have you heard of that? Tesla? Do you know what the Tesla machine is?
Nah, what it was
like. It's this electrical device. It's a ozone. It looks like, you know, the new light bulbs that are kind of like
talking about the Riot machines?
No, it's not a Rife machine. Berwick's got one of those, but that's not what it was. These are these two big light bulbs, and you hold them in both of your hands, and you gotta like lean them up against your body, and it puts this ozone through your body, and it just like.
I seen those in Egyptian hieroglyphs.
It works on your electrical circuitry, and he did it on Stu Peters' shoulder, which had been busted for like 3 years.
Electrotherapy and healing. It repairs the DNA at the structural level.
If you go to tzla.club, that's the place. I'm not trying to sell it. I don't have no affiliation with the place, but I just know
free sponsorship here.
I know that they sell the machines for
Tesla
Bitcoin worldwide.
TZLA what?
tzla.club.
Club. Okay.
Yeah, it's a wild thing, man. Like, it honestly looks like it shouldn't work. It looks like a scam. I mean, like 100%.
You know what? I've seen this and heard this from somewhere. I don't know where.
It looks dumb. It looks fake. It looks like you could make it in your garage. Like, every single component about it is laughable until I saw this lady with MS walk. I asked her, how are you feeling? She put her cane over her shoulder and she goes, I don't know. You tell me. And she walked off. She was explaining how she had been doing it every day for the first 3 days of an Acapulco, and how it was like having such magical. She had been in a wheelchair for like 2 decades. And then she committed to being like on a cane for the last year. So she got to the place where she was a cane, and then she got herself to an Acapulco and did 3 sessions with this Tesla machine. And by the time she was done, when we caught her, it's all on camera too. T. Snyder, this Canadian filmmaker, was following me. He was making a documentary on me, and so he was there. He filmed me doing the Tesla machine. You can watch it in the mini documentary. It's wild, man. It looks.
Yeah, I'm reading the experiments and results right here, and it's fascinating. And even just the blood and the cells are repaired and healthy, and it's crazy. Like looks beautiful.
Berwick gave it to this taxi cab driver's wife who was heavily vaccine damaged from the shots.
Yeah, and military gave me 13 shots, and so like nowadays, after I don't know what year, but they started giving you 13 shots in like 3 hours in the hip, and so like it's fucked up.
Well, he ran this lady through the machine for 25 minutes, and she came out the other side feeling pretty good. So there's some benefits to it. I know it seems kooky, and it really, you know, feels kind of like airy fairy and like, but you know, I used it. I didn't really have anything that was overwhelmingly wrong. I had a kind of a bicep injury, so I had it on that and it went away, but it wasn't the best. You know, it wasn't like I went down there with a torn ACL or something. You know what I mean? I'm not, I don't know what success necessarily looks like, but for some people, they just have magical results. Like, it's pretty cool. So of course, you know,
this is pretty cool. Definitely thanks for shouting this out. I appreciate you shouting this out, because a lot of people always like love to see the new technology that I promote, or that my people here on the channel love to promote. And
it's worth looking at. Yeah, like I have no affiliation with it at all, except that I've used it before. I'll tell you one thing that was kind of wild. So in the parking lot of the event in Mexico this year, Jeff has an RV, his RV there, and he had the machine in the RV, and when he turned it on, it blew the power out for the entire event.
Oh, dude. That's crazy.
Yeah, they were like, what the fuck? And they had to like emergency like put it all back to get everything kind of square. He was like, I don't know. When that director was filming me using it, he was and I was sitting in the RV, like on the couch portion, like in the living room, I guess, portion of the RV. He couldn't get the camera up close because when he did, it was making his viewfinder get all like wobbly and weird. So he had to sit in the passenger side of the RV and zoom in on me in the middle of the RV to film it, because it was such a powerful
electromagnetic field. Yeah. Whoa. Yeah, so if you took out one of those electromagnetic frequency readers, what would have you?
I don't know.
You should do that.
I don't know. I don't know what it would show. I mean,
do that.
I really
like they do on the Skinwalker Ranch, and they got all these different technologies.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. It's like you can read the different electromagnetic fields, and then like you have a good sense of how to navigate through this weird multidimensional, weird fucking world that we live in.
Well,
dude,
I mean,
for everybody out there,
it taught me to not be dismissive of stuff like that, because, you know, like in the same way you look at acupuncture and you go, the fuck, you know, like how could that possibly be doing anything, right? And then people are like, oh, it really works.
The chi in our body, the meridian, the little energy points, all the chakra points. According to Chinese science, we have like 100 to 300 different chakra points, different little energy points in our body, or something, like micro ones, mini ones, and different things. And like 100 main ones, but then if you go like super deeper, like there's like 300 or something. I don't know. It's crazy.
Easy to be dismissive of that and go, oh, it's like hocus pocus Chinese bullshit. You know what I mean? But like,
not here.
There are technologies out there, and this Tesla energy technology was one of those things. It's like, hey man, if you're feeling bad, you know, if you're feeling real bad and you're trying just about anything, like, why wouldn't you give it a shot? You know, why wouldn't you just go? Well, I mean, I don't know. I think they probably do sessions with it. I paid like $35
Oh,
for a
that's
session.
not bad at all. People pay
No.
$50 for a massage at the mall from a random person who doesn't really care.
Totally. I think and I did it with Earthquake Mike, my crypto billionaire buddy. He did it next to me, and it lights up.
Earthquake Mike. Why do they call him that? It's not Sky. That's not the Skyman Mike, the one that flew to space, right? No, I'm playing.
No, this was Earthquake Mike. Earthquake Mike. No, it was a long story he told one time of there was an earthquake that was happening while he was in the middle of speaking one time, and everyone just called him Earthquake Mike. So, but he's like
Almighty and shit. Oh.
He has really bad hand and wrist issues.
Ooh.
And so when he's holding onto the light bulb and he's sitting next to me, I've got one, I'm holding on to one, he's holding on to one. We got two of them going. And what the guy's explaining to us is when it gets on a real screwed up part of your body, it starts, the light bulb starts changing colors. It goes from like a whitish to more of like a warmish
purple
color. And you can see, and it's almost like it's bug zapping you because it's kind of like tingly, like you feel like you're being slightly
pulling bad ions.
And it's just, and so when that's happening, the guy's going, that's good. That's a good sign. Like you want that. Like you're right over
the darkness out of you.
So you can really kind of like put it right on your ailment, whatever you've got going on.
Don't tell us to Diddy. You don't want to worry about it
in that whole area. But if you just have if you just want general, like kind of general body cleansing,
and for
this kind of do it like all
in Denver. This is where would
I don't know. I don't know where you can do it. And I mean, I'm in Denver.
So that's where one of the facilities is that people can go for $35, or is it?
I'm not sure. No, I just did it in the parking lot in Mexico at Acapulco.
That sounds shady, bro.
but I mean, I think there's probably some people out there who own those machines and like have people like probably like show up at a farmer's market, plug in and cook people.
What's definitely cool is that there's a lot more holistic medicine practices that are just popping up here in America, and they're getting their licenses because colleges are actually, there's more colleges, giving out those certificates and giving out those diplomas and stuff. So now people can actually legally show the court, hey, bitch, I can have these technologies in my place. And so what's cool is that these things are actually coming to America more and more. Before we get into the deep stuff, guys, I was listening to Sam Tripoli and one of his fucking billion of shows. I don't remember which one, Broken Simulation, Cash Daddies, or even Doom Scrolling. It was a joke he said, and before we get serious shit, let's just hear a joke. If you guys were fucking a chick and you guys were going in it so good, you were hitting it just right, and she turned into a reptilian shapeshifter, what would you do? What would you do? What would you do, Charlie?
Well, I mean, Billy Corrigan apparently had to deal with that situation.
What?
Billy Corrigan from Smashing Pumpkins tells.
Was this from the joke? Was the joke based on something real then?
Maybe, because I'm sure Sam knows about the Billy Corrigan story. But he told Howard Stern that he saw something he could not explain. That he saw a shapeshifter that turned into something that was not human, and that it happened in bed with, and I'm assuming a woman, but
well, what if it's like
it happened twice with the same person? That's what Billy Corrigan said. You can find interviews. Okay. You can find interviews of him talking about that pretty openly.
Okay, if it's twice, then it might be a funny thing.
Twice with the same person. Once at a party, once in bed.
where he saw like a shift in the appearance.
Turned into a fucking reptilian.
Well, you know what's crazy?
Well, no, he didn't. Let me clarify. He didn't say that, but it turned into something that he couldn't explain. But I've heard other stories of people talk about that. I mean, I've heard David Icke tell me himself the Ted Heath story
What's
of
that?
watching that guy, Ted Heath, the former prime minister of UK, who used to rape boys on his yacht off the coast of the Isle of Man,
Like Jimmy
and
Savile.
because he was so famous, he would have his henchmen strangle the kids
To death.
before throwing him overboard because he was so famous. Everybody recognized him. So he was a total monster. And of course, David Icke knows this, gets into a makeup chair at the BBC before a presentation, looks over, the dude next to him is Ted fucking Heath. Ted Heath Ted Heath looked at him, scanned him, as David described it, scanned him, started at his feet and slowly worked his way up. When he made eye contact with David said that Ted Heath's eyes were completely 100% solid black.
Yep.
And he just was like, and then he after he did that, he just turned straight back along and just kept looking straight into the mirror for
Fuck this
for his
shit.
makeup to be eventually put on. And David was like, it was like seeing something non-human.
You know, I'm thinking more along the spirits attachments and what I've been studying. It seems like how these elites, they actually bring in an entity that is living inside of them at the
They
same
bring it in
time,
their eyes.
at the same time of what they're of them. So it's like a split personality, but it's an entity inside of them. And what's
It's a
crazy is that
parasite.
it's attached to either a parasite or it
Yeah.
could be like a real demonic possession, where in the Book of Enoch, where it talks about these giants and these fallen angels being lost souls waiting for walking around waiting for those for that they can devour. They can embody. So these guys are master magicians in the dark spirit world, where they can embody and take over, possess succubus, incubus type of entities, and that's what they show when you see these cultic type of Hollywood music videos and from Lady Gaga and all these different people they're
taken over.
They're taken over by a darker
Beyonce.
evil or spirit, and it's not only just the parasites. Some of the parasites, that I think that's the reptilian type of thing, and then there's that draconian type of vampiric. So there's two different sides of the darker. One of the earthly, demonic, earth reptilian, ugly ass type of thing. Then there's this flesh sucking type of ancient vampiric spirit, and that's also this maybe the stemming from the darker magician type of spirits, right? And so we see these multiple sides, and it's weird. I was just looking at a Erica Kirk video, and they were showing her and her teeth being very similar to how Mark Zuckerberg's teeth, when he came into the 2001 show at that CES, when his first appearance at CES, when he was being forced to take off his jacket. And they're like, Mark, take off your jacket. And he's like, oh, I don't know, man. And they're like, no, take off your fucking jacket, son. And it had a Freemason symbol in the middle, and then it showed his reptilian teeth, and then you go see his eyes too, and it's like the same thing. I've seen Jeff Bezos have the same thing. Who else just recently? It goes everywhere. It goes everywhere. I'm gonna pull up this video for everybody out there, because this was the first video back in the day that I started questioning things. Right right here, guys. This is ancient. This is ancient, and this is one of the most interesting videos out there for everybody. But this is OG. I don't think this isn't this. You will not find this in your
That was
Facebook
a
feed.
fascinating
All right,
answer.
it's okay. You want to take off the hoodie?
No, I never take off the hood.
I know you don't.
Never take
There's a group of women in the
He's all
audience
sweaty,
that
look at
wish
him.
you would. And
No.
girls?
Whoa.
All right.
Sorry. Yeah, that's okay.
Fucking bug.
Can you explain what this instant personalization thing was that you did, and why you did it, and what's the value of it to your users?
Maybe I should take off the hoodie.
Take off the hood.
Go ahead.
Want
What
to?
the hell?
You want?
Look at those reptilian ass teeth. That's a
Yeah, it
sharp
didn't look
ass
good.
tooth. I don't have a. Just I'm gonna back that one right there.
That's not the
Bro.
best.
You see how you see how long that tooth is?
Yeah.
This is
I'm
him
gonna-
before he's sweating. What's up?
You want?
Oh, what's up, brother? What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say I'll give him the benefit of the doubt and just say that maybe that tooth is like some sort of like video compression. Okay, but if
Hell no.
I have to see something else, I know I'm giving him a lot of
Yeah,
benefit of the doubt on that.
You all right?
Yeah.
This is a great
What's
moment in
this?
internet history.
What?
Right there too. The more his tooth and he's sweating.
All right.
What are we gonna do with the mic?
Put it on your.
All right.
Put it on the collar of your T-shirt. Do you want?
Do you need some help?
No, I'm good.
All right. Okay. Mark?
Sorry about the.
Sorry about being warm, Mark.
No,
We're not even yelling at you
yeah.
yet.
We're not going to yell at it.
No, we're of course not. That is a warm hoodie.
Yeah, no, it's a thick hoodie. It's a company hoodie. We print our mission on the inside.
What?
Oh,
my
really?
God, the inside of the hoodie, everybody. Take a moment. What is it? Making the.
Making the world more open and connected.
Oh my God, it's like a
Cool.
cult.
It's like a secret cult. We're not gonna play it anymore, bro. We don't have to. Dude, this is them though. This is them. For everybody out there, that's a real video. That was Mark Zuckerberg's introduction into social media takeover. One day after LifeLog shut down, the CIA project that was taking track of everybody's data across America, and you hear how the interviewee's question was like, so this instant personalization, what value does it even have to its users? Meaning he's like, dude, why are you trying to instantly get everybody's information and like who the fuck cares?
Yeah, you know
dude,
what's funny
these
is
guys are
that
reptilians.
Mark Zuckerberg's origin story is freshman, Harvard, transformational software technology company launched from his dorm room that gets massive venture funding, turns into a multi-billion-dollar company with antitrust issues. So, am I talking about Mark Zuckerberg or am I talking about Bill Gates?
But
Because it's the
all of
identical.
them.
It's the identical origin story.
What if Zuckerberg's like Bill Gates, like DNA little alien child?
No, Bill Gates has his own.
I'm kidding.
His
Just joking.
his dad was the chairman of the board of Planned Parenthood, which is the largest eugenics depopulation outfit in America.
Right, but I'm saying Mark Zuckerberg. Who's his dad? Right? No, it's a joke. They're
Yeah,
both
his
curly
dad
headed
is-
monsters.
Yeah, I'm sure his dad is in the club somehow,
sure.
some way.
So Mark Zuckerberg and Facebook really brings us to where we're gonna head on to today. Riot Inc. and how America and how the world is being staged, being manipulated, being pushed and pulled
Yeah.
by these organizations, because Facebook, they got sued. Remember, guys? They were like creating algorithms to manipulate emotions and actually target people and create dysfunction in society and individuals based on the individual themselves. So they would make you madder, they would make you sadder, make you more addicted to this and that, and make you if you get aggressive and push you into a short-term type of mentality and forgetfulness, it was meant to fuck you up. Sorry for the brand, you guys. Like all these social medias are ran by the people who want to start these riots and ran by the same people who want to divide the nation, Charlie. Ran by the ABC companies, ran by the Alphabet company. Speak on this.
Yeah, we've got the same groups that are financing these pop-up riots are also financing depopulation. I'm talking about Soros, Open Society Foundation, Gates Foundation, Ford Foundation, Tides Foundation, Rockefeller Foundation. And then the biggest player in terms of really kind of aggregating money and spending it is Arabella Advisors. And they're the ones who spent the most money on the No Kings 2. They spent almost $80 million on that. Soros spent 72, Ford Foundation 52, Tides Foundation 45. So the thing is it's protests against billionaires financed by billionaires. You know, and so you go, well, what is the play here? Like, shouldn't the billionaires not draw attention to the fact that they're billionaires? It's like, no, they don't give a shit. They're billionaires. They don't care. The point is to get everybody fighting and divide people into smaller and smaller groups, and to create a problem reaction solution scenario where you finance and organize the problem into existence, which is ICE riots,
ISIS, all that shit too.
Yeah. I mean, this is domestic, but as you mentioned, like the international version is ISIS. We finance ISIS into existence. And what is ISIS? It's a database. And what does Al Qaeda translate to? The base. I mean, it's a database of freedom fighters on demand, pop up on demand. And that's what this is too. It's what Arabella Advisors does. It's on demand protesters. It's people who will be angry at the climate change or Donald Trump or trans rights or insert grievance, like whatever it is. They can be brought in to make it look like there's something there when there's not something there. And here's the problem. I mean, there's a variety of problems, but it's like the audience that shows up for this is very indoctrinated, heavily vaccinated, easily led by television. You know, it's like a liberal boomer parade, like the No Kings 2 parade, you know. But it was also kind of an embarrassment on its face as well, because
it didn't work.
When they did it in countries that actually had kings, they called it the No Tyrants protest instead, because they didn't have the balls to call it No Kings in the place with actual kings, because, you know, they would squash them if they did that. So
but also over here, like in my local areas, a lot of the Mexican like leaders here, they're like, hey, don't fucking go to this shit. This shit's a stage fucking riot. Like, these guys are feds. And so it didn't work. Here in America, it didn't work.
Yeah. So this is my plea to people. If you're mad about that stuff, if you really want to like make a change and make your voice heard, I get it. But like, those are honeypots for boomers. Don't walk into it. Don't walk into that trap, man. You're going to be on a flock camera. You're going to be recorded on a cell tower. You're going to be measured if you go through a toll road, or your satellite radio is tracking you there, or facial recognition at the event, or some fucking Reaper drone doing figure eights above the event, pulling everybody's data and mapping everybody's license plates and all that shit, man. Like, you are on a list immediately if you do that, if you show up at these events. So this isn't 1975 where you could just show up and maybe somebody would catch you in the back of a blurry photograph or something. You know what I mean? Like, you are leaving digital breadcrumbs everywhere you go. And if you show up at one of these events, it will be known. So
with the adaption of all the flock cameras and Palantir pretty much being attached to the hip of the American government, technology is being used as spyware, like on all levels. You know, they're mapping our moves through the Wi-Fi routers and the frequencies of our phones. They're listening to audio. They're using freaking cameras and audio in like towers, streetlights and you know, everything in like fast food places. It seems all the social medias are being data collected and sold. It's definitely a weird thing. And you know, these organizations are also tied to like things like USAID and funneling out to these sex trafficking and drug trafficking organizations, and being used for like these just strangely, you know, these Venezuelan gangs, or these MS-13 gangs, you know, having their ties, you know, to American American handlers, just like how the Fast and Furious, right, where we were trafficking guns over there to them, cartels and everything. It's a huge operation that these guys are playing, and what really sucks is that it's coming up from the top of Davos, from the World Economic Forum, and these big time Zionist type of satanic type of world destructors, you know, Klaus Schwab, and there's, you know, these other guys, where, you know, these guys are the mob bosses, and at their Switzerland based Davos and things like that, they make out the plans every year, and it sucks because, like, you know, COVID was something that was part of it, but now it seems like it's taken the next toll, where like, hey, shit, you know, they gotta step in, you know, they gotta cause J6, as he said, you know, people who are there were there for like a second, their face were on the camera, and now they're in jail. There's some of these people are still in jail, some of them got out, of course, but it's the same thing, you know, with the No Kings, where some of these people that went and caused some shit, well, they're gonna be thrown in jail just because they were there and you know, wrong the people.
Yes.
And what
you're going to be cataloged for a future event. You're going to be recorded as being there. And then maybe 10 years from now, when they want to build a case about you, you know, for some shit that you've been up to, they've decided that they'll go back and say, and as far as 10 years ago, he's been involved in political protests and showing up at these events. They pull some picture, and sure enough, you were there, right? So maybe you're not doing anything today. Maybe you're not on the wrong side of the Gestapo today, but that's today, man. And as we saw, like during the COVID years, like you could have too many people in your driveway at Thanksgiving dinner and get the authorities call. I think they're having a super spreader event. You go, I'll be damned, that old lady like ratted us out. You know, and you go, oh yeah, if you were alive during the Nazis, you'd have stood up to Hitler. Yeah, fuck off. You called the police when you thought my Thanksgiving dinner was a super spreader event. Like, where are we? You know, like,
and a lot of these people who are actually even supporting this by stupid chance, it's the people who are being funneled this money, who are being illegally given this money, you know, that the fraud payments, the money laundering, the drug trafficking, the traffickers, these guys are part of the so if you guys notice that there's some people who are like just taking the wrong stand on all these, like, get the fuck away from them, because you're gonna go down with them and they're gonna take you out no matter what, because no matter what, these elites, these dark forces and people, they sell each other out no matter what, at all costs. Like we see all the time. This sucks. I mean, it's got to even mention it sucks to mention it. But if we look at that Zionist state over there in the Middle East with that 6-pointed star, you know how many times they kill each other and they like literally just kill off their friends, kill off their scientists, kill off their people, and they're like, oh, oops, sorry, they don't do much, whatever. Like, and it trickles down into the same gangs, the same organizations. Do you think that you're gonna be safe trafficking for these people, the child traffickers? No, like you're shit. You're the first on the list. Like, you know, it's like the same thing with the brown shirts. Hey, guess what? The brown shirts who are out there snitching, you guys get it too. Haha, suckers. Well, that's what's happening, guys. It sucks. And I think what's really a problem is that like a fight against, you know, ICE, of course, they're doing monstrous shit, but like, why are you guys protecting when it's a for sure drug trafficker? And they mentioned, they're like, hey, these guys worked with a certain gang, the Venezuelan gangs, and these guys were, you know, trafficking kids, or these guys were doing something. And like, that's undefendable, guys. These guys are the ones taken from our community who want to go ahead and try to take over our community because they have foreign interests, domestic terrorist type of interest, and the whole thing is to destabilize the American population. It's kind of like the movie Leave the World Behind, where suddenly all the planes were dropping down this Muslim message like death to America and shit. Well, like, that's what's happening, guys. These foreigners are coming in. Mandami, fucking A, dude. Like, this guy, dude. So I supposedly just within the last 6 hours, they're like, people are worried that he suddenly had a character switch. Now, not his first time on stage. It doesn't seem like the same Mandami. I'm like, yeah, bitch, that's a demon.
Brought the clone in.
Dude, on Amazon, you got to watch this show. I think it's The Man Who Fell to Earth, I believe, and it's about a politician, and he's a president, and he sees the devil, the man who fell to earth, and he's the only one who can see the devil. Yeah, it's weird. He's over here taking deals, and everybody else doesn't realize it, and he's over here talking with the devil. And The Man Who Fell to Earth. David Bowie makes his unforgettable feature film debut. Oh wait, this is the 1970s.
Yeah, The Man Who Fell to Earth.
Hold on.
That's like a 1970s movie. That's from a million years ago.
That's a 1976 one. There's a 2010 one.
Okay.
Guys, these guys are literally being taken over by the occultists who are doing their bidding, sending out the money, and you guys are being treated as gangs. And this is like, or everybody out there is being treated like, you know, little slaves for the gangs. You know, they think that they're cool and stuff, but no, like, nope. That's not what's happening, guys. That's not what's happening. You guys are all being snitched out. It sucks. It sucks. Like, why work for somebody who you know doesn't really have a soul? Like these guys. Like, imagine trying to if George Bush was like, hey man, like, you know, I need to go ahead and traffic some drugs out here for me, man. You know, okay, George. Well, wait, isn't that what they were doing? George and all them, they were even doing it, right?
George H.W. Bush was the largest cocaine trafficker in the world at one point.
Yeah, he was. Hey, people say
Bill Clinton ran the American operations for him when he wasn't doing all of the product himself.
So are they taking our tax money, or how's this necessarily working? So are they buying the drugs from our tax money? Like, how do you think that kind of transaction works? Do we give them guts?
So it's about, it's not necessarily, well, I mean, we could use Iran-Contra as an example of how this works, how the laundering works. So what it is the CIA wants to destabilize a region. They want to finance a revolutionary army against the existing government whose leader is incompatible with what the CIA and American interests want. So they got to get rid of this guy. So they're going to finance his opposition army, and they need guns for that. So they'll sell cocaine, you know, they run cocaine, you know, not the cartels in South America work at the behest of the CIA, and the CIA has sort of a splinter shadow group that's run by Bush,
BlackRock.
W. Bush, called the Enterprise. And the Enterprise is that secret government, essentially, that kind of has its fingerprints and everything. And they're responsible for, that's Ollie North and all those guys. That's Iran-Contra. It's essentially the Enterprise gets unmasked there. And so they run weapons and drugs into weapons in, money out, drugs to money to Iran, weapons from Iran into Nicaragua. And so that it's kind of, it's not so much that they're on, it's not so much that the CIA is on the street corner selling drugs. It's that they're setting up the networks and allowing it to go through their channels. So it comes from the cartels
So that goes
in
to
South
both
America,
sides too.
and it winds up in LA with Freeway Rick Ross, who I had a chance to meet at Anarchapulco and talk to, who's super interesting dude who's got some stories, right? And so you that's how the drug game works. And so they're allowing cocaine to flow in through Mena, Arkansas. Bill Clinton controls that. You can watch the movie American Made with Tom Cruise and see in there like the whole Barry Seal thing. This is not conspiracy theory. This is conspiracy analysis. It's a fact. Actually happening. This is George H.W. Bush controls the network. His henchman right below him is Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton runs it through Arkansas. He's rewarded for running it effectively by being elevated to the president of the United States.
And they dish it out to like the Bloods, the Crips, Gangster Disciples, Streets Disciples, and all these different organizations. And that's where the informants come in, because these guys are attached to the hip. They're like, fuck, well, we're taking these drugs and monies. Well, we need to sell these guys out and set these guys up like fucking Keefy D and these other cats, Suge Knight and other cats, where these guys are straight up being fed by the money, so are being money fed by the feds, and now they have to do the bidding and pretty much ruined the nation and ruined fucking Suge Knight ran over a dude. It's fucking insane.
So when I was in college, we heard a story about Freeway Rick Ross. Okay, so this is mid 90s, early to mid 90s, and I'm in college in South Central Los Angeles, and Freeway Rick Ross was running the crack trade in the 80s in South Central Los Angeles.
He ran like 90, 80, 75%, 80% of the U.S. or something.
It was coming through him, and so we read this crazy story, my roommates and I, and we always thought it was nuts, right? And so I see him at this event, and I talk to him at the event, and then we're on the same flight out together.
That's sick.
So I'm sitting with him in the airport, and I was like, hey man, you gotta like settle something for me. I gotta like run a story I gotta run like a 2 stories by you, and that we heard about you, and you tell me if they're true or not. Will you do that? He's like, yeah, I'll do it. And I was like, all right, cool. I said, I heard that that you were counting so much money that you got infected, that it wore your fingerprints off. And he said, partially true. I was counting so much money that I would get these paper cuts and I would get infections in it. And that would it would screw up my fingers. It wouldn't necessarily wear my fingerprints off. And I said, all right, well, follow-up question. The second part is, I heard that at the height of it, you were making $2 million a day cash. He goes, no, that's way off. I was making $3 million a day. I was like, God damn.
Dude, imagine if he saved that money and was one of the first to buying Bitcoin.
Man. And you want to know the irony? He's now in LA. He's out of prison. He was given like a forever sentence. He did 15 years, I think.
He's
got
making
out.
books.
wild, crazy coincidence, got out. And he's a super nice guy, by the way. And the rapper stole his name from him.
I know, yeah. He's a fucking correctional officer. He's a Fed.
Yeah. But the real Freeway Rick, total cool
Awesome,
mother-fucker.
Yeah.
He gave me
on Joe Rogan podcast.
Like, I have his
awesome.
number.
He's awesome.
Here's my number. I was like, okay.
I'd love to have him on.
He goes around and he speaks. He does public speaking, talks to kids and everything like that. But you know what he also does? He owns a marijuana company.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah, I heard he now
Illegal
sells marijuana,
company,
legal
the
weed.
irony.
Yeah, recreational weed.
So
Dude,
funny.
Oh man, I always have this flashback that I hate. Man, me and my buddies, we're on this. I'm gonna fucking illegally say shit, but we were on the Silk Road back in the day when Bitcoin was $100. $100 fucking bucks, bro. I missed out. They're like, you want to buy some Bitcoin? And a lot of us were like, it was like a group of us, and we're like, I'm not gonna. Yeah, it was a group of us, and a lot of us were like, no. And if one, I think the only one who did, fucking, he disappeared because he got fucking rich. Yeah, dude. So it sucks, dude. I remember like back in the day, $100, dude. Oh man, if only I was like, I could foresee the future. Dude. So we're gonna get back a little bit to this, like all of these, also Free Rick Ross. All these guys, everybody, you know what we're seeing right now with the J6ers, all these, it's the same fucking playbook, same money pockets. They're funding both sides. It's kind of like how World War II, they were being funded by both sides of the war, being funded by the same guys, the same bankers, right? And then what's wild is that now it's even on a deeper level, like they're funding the rioters who are burning down police stations, and then they're also defunding the reporters who are on these news networks who want to tell the truth. And it's like, holy shit, there's a complete blindfold over society where they're not seeing the truth. They can't see the truth because all of the truth is the Smith and Muntz Act that Obama passed, from like you can actually legally give out propaganda in the news and people can't do shit about it when people don't even know how to read these days. So of course they can't do, you know. It's okay. You know, but BlackRock and World Economic Forum and all these guys who are funding these type of things, they're even blocking CIA analysts. They're even kicking out people who are in these, you know, government organizations and who are like, hey, who was it that just got fired for looking in? Kash Patel. You hear this shit? Kash Patel was using our money to fly his girlfriend out to wrestling events, and the director who fucking was looking into the money thing called him out, and then he got fired.
Sounds about right. It's perfect. Perfect. It's a banana republic. Let's be honest about it. We might as well embrace it. Enjoy the show. Grab some popcorn. As George Carlin says, when you're born in this world, you get a ticket to the circus. But when you're born in America, you get a front row seat. So that's what we're getting.
And now, like, it's on a huge worldwide level. I was just playing a video on my podcast. It was a quick one. I forgot about last week, and it was showing how all the places that are getting hit by supposed weather events and you know, catastrophic type of events are all on the Agenda 2030 list and are all on these new cities, right? So these new cities, okay, let's get into this because this is where the riots want to take us, right? If the riots have any type of success, they want to destroy the city, destabilize the city, so that a world government, United Nations type of government, has to go in and fucking clean up and then implement their biometric system, just like I covered this a few years ago. You know, in these refugee places, there's a lot of biometric shit where a lot of these refugee camps over there in the Middle East and things, they have to eye scan in order to get their food.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they have to eye scan, palm scan, finger scan. They have to bow down to Satan and shit. I don't even know. I'm just playing. I'm playing. But like, it's pretty wild. Like, that's what these places want to do. I wonder if Mamdani is gonna do that because, I believe, wasn't it in New York where they tried this specific law just recently in the last year, that there was a toll area where even if you were driving inside Manhattan Square, something like that, or one of the busiest streets in New York, if you even drove in it, you had to pay a certain amount for how much time you were in there. And even if you were in a taxi, if you're walking through it, whatever, if you were in that area, you had to pay a toll. Do you kind of remember that law? It was only for like a month or 2 or 3, and then they took it out, or maybe it's still there. I'm not too sure, but this is kind of what the thing is, right? It's economic zones where you have to be a certain area. Like it's kind of like how in China with the one, their system. If you do not have a certain social credit system, and you can't go into fucking you can't go into Best Buy. You have to go into Cheap Buy, sucker. Ha ha. It's like that though. If you don't have the right amount of points on your system, like maybe Mom Dami's gonna be like, yo, dude, you can't buy this kosher meat, boy. You gotta buy our genetically fed meat. That's kind of what the future of where all this wants to go, because look, as we see, these rioters are being paid to go ahead and target some of these mom and pop shops are meant to destroy, just like how we've seen over the last 6 years. Once this whole COVID thing hit, it was the mom and pop shops taking all the hit, and then the rioters taking out these places. Well, they want to like make a lot of okay, let's just say the elites want to only have 1 or 2 stores, 3 stores, 4 stores, so that way everybody goes there. Just like how in China, now the grocery stores, you don't even touch the food, guys. You go into the computer, you put your face and it tells you what you can buy, and then you pick out what you can buy, and then a robot goes and gets it from the back, puts it in your cart, and then hands you it, and now you just wait in line like a little slave. And this is kind of how it is. If I'm foreseeing how social media is, I think that what we're seeing already with this whole premium shit is a test run. If you're not premium like on X, and if you don't have the check mark, well, you don't have this. You're not popping up in the search results. You're not.
I know. I don't have it. Do you have it?
I did. I was paying for like a bit for like a sucker, but now I'm like, dude, I fucking.
Did you notice anything? Was there a notice in visibility? Was there a notice in engagement? Was there
not really
anything?
Nah. Not really. The only thing that I could do is I could actually then post videos. So on Twitter now, stupid ass Elon Musk, you sucker. I used to be able to post videos, live streams to Twitter for like freely. I could just stream. I could literally stream to Twitter, and now I have to be a X verified checkmark user in order to even stream there. I'm like, what? Like. It's pretty wild. So this is kind of where the social media aspect is. The carbon credits is also a factor of this, because, well, what do we see? These fucking rioters taking out all of our good chickens, all of our good meats, all of the good, forestry things that are producing the healthy oxygens, reducing the carbon. And this whole thing of carbon zero is a fucking lie. Because if there was zero carbon on the planet, we would be dead, guys. And so it's a brainwash, brain rot, because these rioters are literally destroying everything natural, wanting to artificially put everything out there. And we don't we realize who's funding it, and we realize like, hey, like these are the same people doing the same things over in every nation, every country, over and over.
Yeah, it's dark money NGOs. It's Gates Foundation and Arabella and Soros, and it's not hard to find. Nobody's hiding. It's not like a secret. It's like these groups get busted. Like Gates Foundation had to come out and say, "Oh, we distance ourselves from Arabella." It's like, what are you talking about? You gave them $456 million in the last decade. The fuck are you talking about? Distancing yourself from? You give them $500 million. You're not distancing yourself. You're partners with them. And they are in charge of creating riots. So why is the health organization, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, now known as the Gates Foundation, why are you guys giving all this money to a bunch of commies? Like, how is this saving the world? The answer is it's not. It's it's all part of a much bigger agenda, of course, as you know. But nobody digs too deep. You know, truth is, nobody really digs too deep. Most people don't even care.
We dig deep, and we dish
do.
it.
Yeah, we do, because we're crazy people. But
no, we're just intelligent.
We take this stuff personally. Like, I take it personally that they're lying to me about this. It's like, no, I understand what's going on here. I might not have every piece figured out, but like, I have a general understanding about what's happening. And so, you know, when you see that that Zuckerberg spent $50 million. You mentioned Zuckerberg earlier. He spent $50 million through Arabella and Tides Foundation just for No Kings 2. Just for the one that happened a couple weeks ago. $50 million. What does success look like if you're Mark Zuckerberg and you spend $50 million on this thing? What do you get? What do you expect? What's a return on investment? What's $50 million worth look like to you? Because it seems like chaos, like strategy of tension, Operation Gladio, just make everything shitty. And then, you know, we can bend these people's will, you know, bend them to our will. So it's frustrating to watch, you know, I worry about the Trump people, the right, you know, the people on the right who...
I was about to say something about Trump. So there's a little tidbit that I'm right here. Investigations reveal that Publix heiress Julie Fancelli used a charity to steer even more money to dark money groups involved in the pro-Trump rally on J6 before the attack. And so, you know, both sides are being pushed and pulled by these Zionists. And I think it all stems into Masonic orders, where if we look at it, these guys all got the same Masonic crest, and they're all they're worshiping and doing the same chicken rituals at 3 a.m. and worships owls and weird shit and Jeffrey Epstein children and shit. And you know,
it's all one club. Yeah, for sure. You know what's funny is that I put a quote in my Octopus book in 2017, and the quote was from Newt Gingrich, and he had said this in Trump had just won election, but he hadn't been inaugurated yet. So he was going to be the president for the first time, but hadn't started yet. And they were interviewing Newt Gingrich, of all people, and he said, Trump's going to have a real hard time in Washington. He's not a part of the club. He's not a part of the secret societies. And so I knew at that point, I was like, oh, interesting. He's not a part of the secret societies. Like, that's a big deal. Knights of Malta. You know, like Knights of Malta. Yeah, he couldn't be a Knight of Malta. They're serious dudes. You know, Trump is a buffoonish character. The Knights of Malta are like... You don't want to.
You know that he has ties to them, right? Yeah, he's definitely older ties to the Knights of Malta type of. He's definitely Masonic, for sure. He has Masonic, for sure. He has family ties with them. He's in those leagues.
For sure, Masonic. For sure. You don't build buildings in New York City for 4 decades without the approval of the Zionists and access to money controlled by bankers who lean towards Zionism. So you have to play ball in that regard too. So Trump has been, you know, this tongue bathing of Israel that's been happening lately has been going on really for 40 years.
Stephen Kelly says that he's in the bed with the Chabad Ludovich Jews Kabbalists, and so that's also a Masonic type of, like, occultic type of order, and they perform some wicked shit. I even had this excerpt on Trump Tower itself. So, like, it's whole thing. It has Black Cube. It has pagan type of statues in there. It has like references to like 66, and there's so many things. Even
Kushner's building.
Even Charlie Kirk's dad. Charlie Kirk's dad was part of the team that built that. You know that, right? So
yeah, I heard that. That's right.
Yeah. Charlie Kirk's dad was the architect team that built that.
That's
very strange.
So weird to me, man.
And yeah, the whole turning point thing was also funded by the last lady that I just said, where she was funneling dark the Publix Harris owner. She was funneling money to Turning Point as well. Turning Point is a very mysterious thing where, you know, I believe it's also just got recently funded by Theo in a sense. Dude, I want to actually mention a lot of this. This ties into where I kind of want to look at, because on my Twitter, I reposted a shitload of news articles very, very similar to this. So if we're looking at riots, now there's a new form of riot, and Donald Trump and Theo wanted to go ahead and bring the propaganda machine to the American cinema. I think they used Charlie Kirk and the Turning Point Action, who they were funding, as part of this propaganda machine. Donald Trump hired a very mysterious guy who wanted to go ahead, Justin Caporal, to be his producer for major events and public appearances. Caporal, in Donald Trump's words, is going to be the secret force that's going to make every moment cinematic. And so, you know, there's a lot to talk about with this, where we know that just like in World War II, how both sides were being funded by the same players. Well, guess what? Both sides were now funding the filmmakers, and these filmmakers who were making hundreds of propaganda films, and they were just using blow-up dolls. They were using fake events, staged events to recreate things. And this is how it is now with George Floyd and Charlie Kirk, who were just happened to have the same birthdays, right? Who just happened to be both hit in the neck, just like some ancient Masonic type of practice or some shit. And it's strange, right? Because we know that this whole George Floyd thing was a Hollywood script. He didn't die as they said it was. This dude was on fentanyl. And everything about his life was a manipulation, a Hollywood play. Same thing with Charlie. We don't know who he is, what he did. We know that if we look at the true investigative journalism, and I mean this, I can put my hand on the Bible. Let me go ahead and put my hand on the Bible right now, sir. Let me just find one, man. All right, here's the Bible. Well, so I have a Bible. Word to God, he didn't die. You can see blood packs attached to his shoulder. He has a vest on with blood packs. Charlie Kirk did not die. Him and his wife are being held on Valhalla. Valhalla is the CIA base for people snitches who want to go missing. What's the actual professional term they call it?
Witness protection.
Witness protection. So Valhalla is, word to God, the actual island that CIA and FBI called the Witness Protection Island. So that is where, you know, Cash Patel's like, we'll see you on Valhalla. Like, dude, I thought you were like supposedly so this whole push for American Christianity, why the fuck you mentioning some pagan shit? You know, Valhalla, some ancient Nordic shit. Dude, man, why don't you be like, we'll see you in heaven in Christ? No, you ain't gonna say that, because Cash Patel's wife isn't Christian.
It was weird.
Cash Patel ain't Christian. It is a very strange thing where now we see the cinema of the plays, the Hollywood machine now before our own eyes. Because Erica Kirk on stage, she ain't really crying. That shit looks so fake. She looks happy. She's the happiest mistress widow that I've ever seen. She's over there getting filled up by JD Vance, like, and the words of her mouth were, I see qualities in JD that I saw in my husband. What the fuck? Like, okay, you know, this is some not only is it like, you know, super fake, but now they're trying to destroy the idea that a woman's supposed to be like a good Christian woman and stay true, but now it's like, oh, she's a mistress. She can go hold around, flirt around, do all these different things. She and people are like, well, she deserves it, whatever, like she let her be. What the fuck? No. How about we stay true to real American values, real Christian values. Donald Trump clearly takes all of our money. He does not really care about the true Christian. Look, I actually posted it on Facebook. It was like I was having an argument over it was one of my local newspapers, and there was an article on it. And I was like, if our president was truly an American who served our nation, he wouldn't be sending our money to genocidal maniacs over in the Middle East. And like it clicked to me, like, shit, he isn't. And none of this is for us. None of this has been for us. I always say this on my social media feeds, where the same people who run our world today, Kellogg's, these politicians, the Trump families, the Bushes, these Clintons, everything, the Zionist Hollywood music producers and their families, and the movie producers and their ancient families, and all these money funders and their ancient families, they're the same fucking families as the slave masters who genocided the damn nations over 300 years ago, when they fucking just straight up raped and pillaged all the Native Americans. And they actually turned the Native Americans against each other, which is straight up some fucking Jewish shit, where they're like gonna infiltrate and fucking be like, ooh, sneaky, let me go ahead and fucking lie about this and lie about that, and make these guys go to war and fucking all scalp each other. And I remember too, because the stories go that the British and the Americans were on different sides of how they were talking about to the natives. So the British were making deals with the natives, and then the Americans were making deals with the natives, and then the Jews were making deals with the natives, and then fucking who knows, at this point the natives didn't even know. They're like, holy shit, these guys are taking over our nation. These guys are coming from all angles, because 400 years ago, the Vikings tried coming over here. And even just a little bit ago, the Spaniards tried coming over here. But the Spaniards were the Jews. They didn't really understand that. Ooh, well, at this point, the Native Americans were being hit by all sorts of diseases. And I just found out over the last few years that I have Native American blood, which is cool, because I saw my grandparents' pictures, and I was like, holy shit, these guys are native as fuck. Like they had everything. I was like, oh, it was cool. Like the facial structure is like beyond real. And what's great is that, like, in my dreams, in my visions, in my spirit, I've always felt a connection to like some ancient tribal shit, and I always wanted to fight for what's right. And so when I see what's going on around the nation now, it's like a flashback, a spiritual DNA flashback. I'm like, dude, this is the same fucking playbook that these guys have been running for hundreds and hundreds of years. I think fucking Sam Tripoli says this. The same people who killed Jesus are the same motherfuckers who shot JFK, or the same people who are killing us now. And it's like these Zionists, these Pharisees, these satanic people. It was just a news article that just dropped in Oklahoma. An MS-13 Satanist wannabe fucking pastor in a Christian church got caught trafficking members of his church, his young girls in the church, and this is where my local newspaper actually posted it. So we reposted it from an Oklahoma thing, even though I'm here in Washington. And that's where I was like, well, just like if the president was our president, he wouldn't be sending money to things, wouldn't be sending money to genocide a nation. If this pastor was truly a Christian, he wouldn't be doing this shit, but he ain't. And then in the details it says, yes, he's an MS-13 Satanist coming from Mexico, blah blah blah, illegal immigrant. No, it's these guys are being funded and pushed and pulled to these areas by these handlers, the handlers who are giving these guys cell phones at the border, bags of money, bags of identifications, multiple identifications, or even the funny thing is that 10 people have one identification. And what the fuck?
I talked to Dan Lyman from Border Hawk News, InfoWars Europe, and he said that his team talked to the Croatian police in Europe, saying, "Hey, what are all these guys that you're catching, like that are coming through here? All these migrants, what do they have in common? Anything?" And they said, "Yeah, they've got these debit cards, and the debit cards
reloaded
are being they're being loaded by Open Society Foundation, Soros. But he
USAID.
said the interesting thing is that they're being reloaded by the EU.
Whoa.
And everyone was like, whoa, hang on a second. Like, it's one thing if, like, the private dark money NGOs, the color revolution guys, like Open Society Foundation, it's one thing for them to be funding it. It's disgusting and gross. They shouldn't be doing it, but that that's the thing. But it's quite another thing when the EU itself is financing it on the reloadable cards. And so they're just like, look, this is being made to happen at the highest levels. You can't get any higher than the EU when you're talking about moving migrants into the European Union. If the European Union wants it to happen, it will happen, which is the reason why it's happening. So it's being made to happen. The question is why? What's it going to look like? What's France going to look like? What's America going to look like? What's Canada going to look like? Canada is going to be unrecognizable. Already is. I was in London in 2019. Didn't look like it did last time I was there in 1989. Yeah. I mean, it's changed. The demographics are weird. New York City is a shithole. Measurable observation, So I don't know, man. It feels like the wheels are coming off, and so I'm doing what I can to get the word out there. I know,
it's even a trippier thing, right? Where this is all homegrown shit. Like we're seeing this. Like everybody now has kind of realized, like, fuck. Like we hand walked authoritarians into office and fucking partied with them, and now they're fucking turning their blind eye while the whole world is pretty much being raped and pillaged, and Christians are being genocided. But now it's getting even trickier because this shit with Avi Loeb and 3i Atlas, and this is a fucking distraction thing, just right out of the damn same playbook, bro. Avi Loeb comes out of Talpiot. Talpiot, an Israeli intelligence agency, right? What do you think about this? What do you want to talk about this?
Never trust Israeli narrative managers. Ever, never, ever, ever. That goes for the plug computer in, so you talk for a second.
Okay, yeah. Hey, all right, guys. Dude, let's see if I can go ahead and pull up a little clip or something. Yeah, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and pull up my Twitter real fast. Guys, please, if you guys could like, subscribe, and share, man. Go follow Charlie Robinson on all platforms. Okay, so all right, this is real. Where it isn't just these guys funding the left and right, because this whole alien thing is a split community. This whole alien UFO topic is extremely divisive in the intelligence agency, even in podcasting, where we see two different sides, right? One side really wants to go ahead and take like a Lou Elizondo approach, and then the other side really wants to go ahead and take like a Jeremy Corbell type of approach, freedom versus more of security. And, we should really look at this as a alien threat, guys. And we should really donate your fucking money here. But you get this, right? Do you get that same feeling?
When you've got like once CIA, always CIA. Like, I don't know what Lou Elizondo is trying to sell, like, I'm sorry, I'm not interested in anything that guy is pitching about anything.
Definitely not, for sure.
These are guys that
Avi Loeb.
Same Avi Loeb, don't trust him at all. Narrative manager, liar, Talpiot, Israeli. If that doesn't light up your, your bingo card, I don't know what does. I mean, that guy ticks every box. That's an Israeli intelligence asset who is selling you a narrative about a mysterious
guy.
object in the middle of
Fuck
nowhere
Globe.
that nobody knows what's going on except him. And it's communicating with
Right.
AI with us. Okay, all right. I'm going to need you to go ahead and show your work on that. All the details, because that sounds like some grade A horseshit to me. From an Israeli narrative manager, pathological liar who's set to misinform and misdirect. So whatever he's saying, I'm not buying.
Well, if we look at the history of this attaches to the same big push that that happened since the 1940s. Roswell. Okay, Roswell is when the CIA was created, when all this fucking COINTELPRO and all this division started, right? When Israel was created, I believe the UN, right? Is that correct? It was UN also created. Okay.
Yeah.
Then it goes into the Antarctic Treaty. So the Antarctic Treaty is very mysterious, fucking extremely one of the most mysterious and most secretive treaties in the whole wide world, because we still don't really know shit about on the other side. If we're here listening to Eric Hecker, and if we're listening to what is it, Operation High Jump entailed, and the Russian video. Have you seen the Russian video footage of Operation High Jump? The uncensored shit? No? Ooh, watch it. It tells you more, and it shows you more. If you can find it, if I remember I seen it years ago before internet was being controlled by Palantir and shit. Okay, if we're listening to all this is kind of where it really started kicking off. Okay, I was talking to Dr. Simon Hines. Simon Hines is very, very fascinating with the UFO paranormal field, and he's an amazing friend of mine. He created this book right here. Where the fuck is it? You should read it. Awesome. He also has more dark matter, monsters, Bigfoot, and stuff. But Opening Minds, Journey to Extraordinary Encounters, Crop Circles, and Resonance. So frequency and, just like tapping into that sacredness, psychic awareness, and just everything. So, right. I was looking at like how, at the start of maybe the possibility of Greta Treaty. Okay. Our nations around the world, they started working with these people like the World Economic Forum, with these grandmaster elitists, these grandmaster theologians, fucking whatever the word is, the theosophists and different type of occultists, these Helena Bravamovics and these Helena Blavatsky's and Marina Abramovics. Sorry, I got them two names mixed up. Whatever, they're two witches. And then we see how like Aleister Crowley got mixed with these elite type of people. Well, the division was on the actual physical aspect is how left and right. On the spiritual aspect, the division got tricky. The division got real tricky, where now we see the Hollywood propaganda machine really split and divide the spirit and the mind and the population, the spirit and the earth and the population, where it started mixing up pagan, started mixing up Christian, started mixing up all the different shit. So people don't know anything. People get lost in these symbols now. We see, because before like the 1950s and everything, all these satanic symbols weren't really fucking like that. If you tried putting them all out in people's faces in the movies and shit, people would hate you fucking devil, and pretty much burn you at the stake, which is why the Salem witchcraft kind of happened, guys, right? So like after the 50s with this, I believe with the Greta Treaty. So in some way in the early 1900s, they found a way to crack open or crack into either Antarctica or crack open a portal like they're showing with Stranger Things, or maybe a Stargate like they show with the Stargate shows. Some shit, somehow, some way, they found a way to contact the other side in the early 1900s. And the other side fought back, said, hey, all right, you have to now start giving us plasma donations, which is why plasma donations started in 1952, with organ harvesting, which is why organ harvesting started skyrocketing around the same time, which is then also the genetic modification type of program and hybridization type of program of the DNA and all of everything that we fucking eat, drink, breathe, shit, consume, everything. So in that essence, the division of the cells, the division of our spirit, division of our pineal gland, or division of our VMAT2 gene, and hypothetically that our Sumerian ancestors or angelic ancestors put into us to help us be more in touch and enlightened with God and them, because they saw that there was going to be perversion. So like, hey, well, if we can actually help you out and make you transcendental, then we can. Now they want to they want to, these elites want to fucking destabilize our transcendence. They don't want you feeling peaceful and enlightened. They don't want your chakras and energy points and tapped, or like fulfilled, and they don't want your spirit, seeing visions and hearing the truth in the future. Okay, so this is where the UFOs and things come in, which is like Avi Loeb is like a fucking madman. He's a cynical. He's fucking he is trying to summon a demon. He's trying to summon a demon, like brain fuck the humanity. That's an alien that they're gonna take over, whatever he's saying. I don't really care. I really don't listen. I know he's trying to trick humanity, right? So over the last 70 years, there's been a lot of talk. Betty and Barney Hill, they saw some shit. The Arizona Lights, they saw some shit. All these different abductees. Well, now when we look at the abductees stories, the abductees are saying, hey, we're being taken up in the crafts. And I think I've had some instances, and I don't know what I have. I want to have reverse regression, whatever, to understand, because I can show you pictures later, but dude, I have 2 marks like above my eyes right here that are not fucking human, bro. Like, I mean it because I know, because if my visions are telling me that I've been fucking tapped into by these assholes, I know that these guys are genetic modifications, which is what all the abductees say, that people get tapped into all the time, like in some weird way. And this is kind of how my story started, because my first podcast episode was with a podcast called UFO Garage. I tripped out by everything that I was getting visions of. And I knew at this point I had to start researching, which is what led me into all of this. Sam Tripoli fucking broke me out of the matrix with all of this learning. And so over the last 7 years, the hybridization program has really divided the nation, because some people are like, we should love these guys. If there are aliens out there, we should accept them. We need to be open-minded. We need
Space
to be
brothers.
We need to then start being multi-sexual, being like, we can be a cat, we can be a dog, we can be multiple genders, and this is where the possession started coming in more and more frequently. The adaptions, the succubuses, the incubuses, the people who are now seemingly a hybrid type of entity and reptilian, like they can be out in the flesh, like in a sense, because like in a way, our government has allowed the hybridization in a true fashion, where they even admit it, in CERN, they're like, we talk to entities, we've opened up a portal, we talk to entities on the other side. They're not telling you what they're saying. I think that the show and the movie and the book, the 3-body problem, have you the 3-body problem? Write that down. Watch the Netflix one, dude. It talks about it. So the generic, pretty much the basis of it. They're scientists. They're badass scientists, and they're working together on technologies like a VR type of thing. And they start getting messages from a computer, and they're like, "Oh, what the fuck is it? AI? Is it a spirit? Is it a demon? Is it an entity? Whatever, blah blah blah." And the thing on the computer is saying, "Blah blah blah. Let's do this. I am from a star system far away, or some shit." And it's giving them instructions how to build a technology. And so the scientists are listening to this thing, building its technology. And then the technology is a VR that's super realistic, that takes in your, fucking makes you feel the pain, makes you feel the emotion, sucks you in like your consciousness, right? Which is what they're trying to do with some of this shit. And And so then in the VR world, the players and the scientists who are testing this shit, they see AI, they see artificial intelligence bots and shit, and it's talking to them. The AI bots are talking to them, and the AI bots are saying, "We're gonna come to your planet. We're gonna kill you." And the scientists are like, "This is crazy. This is so realistic." And they're like, "This," but in their head, they're like, "This is just bullshit. Like, this is just AI bots. This is that whoever, this game is just so badass." They didn't believe it. Well, fucking, it goes that these things are real. Aliens and entities out there that are fucking real, and they're coming to our planet to take over our planet because they see that humanity is weak and stupid and gullible, and they're like, well, you now gave us technology, you gave us hosts, you gave us our peace, you destabilized the fighting hardworking men, or the, let's just hypothetically speak in a real sense, you destabilized the world, which is what they're doing now, so that an alien force can come take over. Well, fucking Aleister Crowley is saying he talked to Lamb. He met with Lamb. These fucking assholes who are like, the royal bloodlines are like, oh yeah, we're coming from these ancient demonic spirits, and we make contact with them all the time. We make blood sacrifices with them all the time. I even look at it in how Roswell's some fucking trippy place where all around it. I remember this one guy on Sam Tripoli that said some crazy shit, and I researched it. I couldn't find a miss. So, right around Roswell, you have the 4 most mysterious pedo bases. You have the Epstein's Zorro Island. You have fucking Galactic Virgin Richard Branson Virgin loving ass. You have Tom Ford. Tom Ford has his mysterious place there, and one other dude that I can't even.
Peter Nygaard.
Maybe, yeah, and fucking A, dude. It's so weird because the stories go that in the early 1900s, a lot of these moonchild rituals and shit, these guys were doing like crazy rituals out in the desert, out in the deserts, out in the mysterious places, like they did with what's that first place, that place that they did nuke, and supposedly aliens came, and entities came.
Oh, in the test site, the Nevada test site.
Yeah, it's around the same area. All these areas. These guys are performing rituals, performing fucking crazy magic, and I even think that Burning Man is the seance to fucking summon some super sick shit.
Yeah, there's definitely some fuckery afoot with Burning Man.
So over the last, let's just say 70 to 100 years, these occultists, these theosophists, these Hollywood people, even, let's just say Elvis and fucking these other guys, these guys are out here doing straight up ritual magic to summon demons into people. Travis Scott's Astro World, 100% the fucking ritual. So I played it, I think I played it last night or something. His DJ after that shit, or the DJ that was DJing after that event, fucking quit music and started turning life to God. He's like, I don't want to fucking deal with this. He doesn't want to be part of it anymore. So many people don't. So many people don't. And
you might
so
have seen something.
So it's a trippy thing, because now, like, on the deeper aspect of what this alien hybridization thing is, people are talking about draconians, reptilians, Palladians, alpha draconians, right? And there's an attack on some of the truth of it, because I remember 2018, Paradise Falls in California. Have you heard the stories of what was being said about that place, and what Edge of Wonder and some of these guys were uncovering? Well, the people who were there were like a good force of humanity. It was a protected city. It was one of the. It was like a sanctuary city for an alien force that, like, they call them Alpha Draconi or Alpha something. It was Alpha Centauri, Alpha Centaurians. And so the California government had a secret deal with them. And it was people along the lines of PG&E and Rothschilds who were trying to manipulate these guys and manipulate this force to build technology for them to go against humanity. Well, they didn't want to, because if like I even kind of Googled some things around this, and there was some facts about this where the people of that city were all highly technological. Like if you fucking seen their jobs and if you seen their college degrees, all of them were like fucking IQ off the charts. They were all like most of the people in that city were like, you know, like how Silicon Valley is like the highest IQ, but it was that city had those type of people. And so, you know, I kind of look at it like, what if this is a real thing? You know, the war, this extra dimensional war, right? The Palladians, how it seems very, very common in a lot of this alien UFO lore. They say that Palladians are helpers, like in a strange sense. And what's strange is that in the Bible references something very specific, where it says God or Yahweh wrapped up the seven sisters so that they couldn't move freely anymore. And it says something like it's very interesting. It's like, okay, we see the ancient past, the deities, these gods, Jupiter, all this ideas of Sumerians, Anunnaki, fucking, there's something real to it that's being interplayed now, where the idea of all the old gods were defaced, but their spirits still existed. These fucking these whatever is out there in the stars and skies is, if the stars and skies is I don't want to say it's all fake and gay, because there is something, but we just aren't being shown the truth of it. You know what I mean? Like there's something outside of us. There's something bigger, something more mysterious. We're just not being shown the full truth of it. So I'm not going to say it's fake or gay, but I'm not going to say it's 100% real, like it's fucking, you know, how NASA shows. But there's entities and there's things flying in and out of our reality. And there's shapeshifters that are shapeshifting in and out of our reality, that are morphing their faces. You were mentioning like the British Prime Minister. It reminded me of this video that I saw from UK. It was a fucking street cam video, and people were tripping out because it was someone was trying to be robbed. Someone was being robbed or something, and being threatened, and you just saw this dude shapeshift like into a fucking alien and scare these robbers away, because he didn't like the alien or the demon or something knew that it was pretty much going to be killed or something. It was going to be robbed and taken over, you know, by vigilantes.
I think I know what you're talking about. I think I might have seen something about this a long time ago.
Yeah,
Probably
so
need to see it again.
Yeah, so this video was showing that like this was a street cam video. There was no editing. You know, I've even seen. I love this topic because I've done so much research. I've even seen how, you know, we look at a Skinwalker Ranch. We look at all these different ghost shows on the TV. Well, they're using real technology. They're using some type of shit. Just like how the American military used the Dicenian glass with the starlight scopes in fucking Vietnam, how it made these soldiers trip the fuck out. Well, these paranormal people are using a same type of technology to understand what type of entities are coming around us, based on these fucking occultic rituals that these Hollywood celebrities and these politicians and these military generals like fucking Michael Aquino, satanic motherfucker, they're doing to humanity. And humanity's being fleshed out, being fucking torn apart, like it's like Insidious and Paranormal Activity on crack. And people don't realize it because they're over here like, fucking give me money, give me power. You hear these rappers, you hear these celebrities, they're like, yeah, I made a deal with the devil for the money, and fuck it, whatever. Their eyes are all blacked out, their eyes are all fucking tweaked out, their spirits all dumbed out. You know, people are literally putting satanic symbols all over them. They don't realize it. People are putting satanic words all over them. You know, some of these artists' names are really fucked up. They're going to concerts. People are going to concerts these days, and there are so many concerts and musicians who are being fucking outed as satanic people, because if you look at the symbols and you look at what's flashing inside the little fucking subliminal messages, and not even that, some of them are outright in the open. There's a DJ, electronic DJ called Sudden Death, with the U is a V, and this dude literally performing mock satanic rituals with like heads and blood and shit at his concerts. It's sad because this is what the nation has come to. So fuck, dude, the youth is submitted to Satan pretty much, right? And the adults have pretty much been divided mentally. So the division has gone in multiple ways. It's a division of the spirit that we're battling, it's a division of the mind. And now, fuck, dude, what happened 5 years ago? A division of the cells, mRNA being injected to 75% of fucking humanity, because now people's genome is being edited. What did Mr. Elon Musk say? Well, this mRNA technology, well, we can turn you into a butterfly if we want. His fucking laugh. He's a genius, man, but I don't know his true color was Werner von Braun 100% telling the truth with a documentary saying we're gonna fucking get a Martian from Mars named Elon. And if we're looking at the Moonchild, is Elon the Moonchild? Is this whole satanic ploy dehybridization? Because what do these guys say? Well, when we do these satanic rituals and we do a pregnancy, a demon fucking comes into these guys, and they say it openly. What's Rosemary's Baby? Fucking Sabrina Carpenter with all this shit. These guys, fucking. Who's the guy that got killed? The producer, Eyes Wide Shut.
Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah, all of this is like outright in our face. But and a lot of people, me and you and Sam and all these guys, like we do the fucking research and we put this together like it's a puzzle, because like the pieces are there, guys. Like, look, just fucking drink some coffee, eat some fucking kale. You will feel it. I don't really eat kale anymore, but you guys get the point, guys. Eat some real meat. Don't be lost on this sauce and shit. Like it's out right here in our face. And I think, bro, Stranger Things and all of this, what we're seeing with CERN, how they're admitting out in the open, they're telling us like there's some fucking wicked shit coming. And Avi Loeb, I don't know if he's trying to say that soon they're gonna try to do some Project Bluebeam type of shit. But if Project Bluebeam is going to be used as a real thing, they're going to use these fucking entities that Aleister Crowley actually made contact with, that all these other guys say that they're making contact with when they're doing their rituals, because like the actual children of these demons are in the flesh. Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos, Peter Nygaard, Jimmy Savile, Jeffrey Epstein. These guys aren't fucking human. Like I don't think that when people say humanity isn't ready for the disclosure, fuck no. But like we got to do it anyways. I'm gonna do it anyways.
What a time to be alive and paying attention. It's a crazy time to be here. I gotta run, man.
No, it's all good.
I've got to run. I've had a crazy long day. This is my third interview today.
Dude, it's all good, man.
I'm sorry. I'm at the end of my night. So
it's all good, dude. Every time that we talk, or even I'm listening to your podcast, it's filled with information, man. And everybody that listens to my podcast, filled with information, dude. Tell them what's going on in the future. I'm gonna have you back on more, bro. If that, let's do this. Let's do this more, because we have. There's so much shit we could talk about.
I got Doug Casey coming on Sunday. He's fantastic. I hope everyone will check that out. I hope people will go to activistpost.com and bookmark that. Macroaggressions.io is my website. People can find just about everything over there. Yeah, we'll do it again sometime, man. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, definitely. Are you working on a new book by any chance?
Working on a book, yeah. It's been tough. It's just I gotta carve out certain periods of time where I can really kind of get into it and start. I can't.
You got a lot
start and stop. I need the 2-week period, to just kind of go crazy. So it's tough to do that. But when I can, I'm working on it, but I've been working on it for a couple of years. So
hey man, hey, whenever you want to premiere that here too, I'm fucking whenever, dude. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and send you an email on another date. So let's go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you guys for being here. Appreciate all of you guys who tuned in and dropped in, and all the other platforms that I'm out there on. Thank you guys. We love you guys, man. We're just speaking the truth, and hey, if we don't speak the truth for you, you're gonna be blind, and we're only as strong as our weakest link. Like, truthfully, guys, just be a brother and be a friend. Thank you guys. Be blessed. Be high. See you guys next time on the 509 Divine Pints podcast. Peace.